The lights inside the massive Theater of America's Got Talent slowly dim, and a soft murmur rolls through the audience like distant thunder. Thousands of faces glow faintly under the stage lights, waiting for the next act. The judges sit behind their illuminated desk, their expressions calm but expectant. Among them, Simon Cowell leans back slightly in his chair, hands folded, wearing that familiar look of cautious curiosity. He has seen it all, at least he thinks he has. From the side of the stage, a slender young man steps into view. Michael Bennett looks almost overwhelmed by the size of the theater. His steps are careful, measured, as if he is trying not to disturb the moment. He adjusts the microphone stand gently, offering a shy smile to the crowd. The applause that greets him is warm but uncertain. No dramatic entrance, no flashy outfit. Just a simple shirt, worn jeans, and eyes that carry a lifetime of stories. The host asks him his name. "Michael Bennett," he says softly, his voice barely rising above the hum of the room. "And where are you from, Michael?" He clears his throat. "I'm from a small town. I used to sing by the roadside. That's where I started." The audience quiets almost instantly. Something about the way he says it, no self-pity, no exaggeration, just truth. Simon tilts his head slightly. "You used to sing by the roadside? For money?" Michael nods. "Yes, sir. My dad got sick a few years ago. We lost most of what we had. I didn't have connections. I didn't have training. I just had a guitar and a place on the corner where cars would slow down at the red light. I sang there every evening." The big screen behind him flashes a short pre-recorded clip. It shows grainy footage of a busy intersection. Cars rushing by, wind blowing through a thin jacket. Michael standing beside a cracked sidewalk, guitar in hand, singing while people pass without noticing. A few drivers roll down their windows and drop spare change into an old case at his feet. Most don't. Back in the theater, the audience watches silently. "There were nights," Michael continues, "when it felt like nobody was listening. But I kept singing anyway. Because even if one person stopped, even if one person felt something, it meant I wasn't invisible." The camera cuts to a woman in the audience wiping her eyes. He explains how music became more than a way to earn money. It became his way to cope with fear, frustration, and uncertainty. When hospital bills piled up, when electricity was cut off for days, when neighbors whispered about their struggles, he would walk to that roadside corner and sing. The streetlights became his spotlight. The passing headlights became his audience. "I promised myself," he says, gripping the microphone a little tighter, "that if I ever got a chance to sing on a real stage, I wouldn't waste it." Simon studies him carefully. "And why America's Got Talent?" Michael exhales slowly. "Because this stage, this is where people who feel small get to be seen. I've been small my whole life. I just want one moment where my voice is bigger than my fears." The audience breaks into gentle applause, not loud, but supportive. It's no longer polite clapping. It's encouragement. Another judge asks what he will be singing. "It's an original song," Michael replies. "It's called Still by the Roadside. I wrote it during one of the hardest winters we had. I remember standing there and the cold fingers numb, wondering if anyone would ever really hear me." There is a pause as the stage crew quietly positions a piano at the center. Michael closes his eyes briefly, almost as if saying a silent prayer. You can see his chest rising and falling with deep breaths. This isn't just another audition for him. This is every cold night, every ignored performance, every coin that clinked into his case. This is hope condensed into 3 minutes. Simon leans forward now, elbows resting on the desk. The room feels different. Anticipation replaces skepticism. Michael steps toward the piano. The spotlight follows him, isolating him in a circle of white light while the rest of the theater fades into darkness. For a brief second, you can almost imagine he is back under a street lamp, alone on the sidewalk. But this time, thousands of eyes are fixed on him. He places his fingers on the keys, but hesitates. The silence stretches. In that silence, you can feel everything he has carried to this moment: the weight of responsibility, the fear of failure, the desperate hope that this could change his family's life. The camera zooms in on his face. There's nervousness there, yes, but also determination. "I used to think," he says softly into the microphone, "that the roadside was where my story would end. But maybe it was just the beginning." The audience erupts into supportive applause again, louder this time. Simon gives a small nod. "Whenever you're ready." Michael inhales deeply. The first gentle piano note echoes through the theater. It is soft, almost fragile, like the beginning of a confession. The room goes completely still. No whispers, no shuffling, just the sound of that single note lingering in the air. In that moment, the roadside singer is no longer standing on cracked pavement. He is standing on one of the biggest stages in the world. Yet the vulnerability remains. The humility remains. The boy who sang to passing cars is still there. The melody begins to form under his trembling fingers. Each note carries memory: traffic lights, cold wind, empty sidewalks. His eyes remain closed as if he is transported back to that corner, reliving the nights that shaped him. The judges exchange quick glances. They can sense something real is about to unfold. Michael leans into the microphone slightly, preparing to sing his first lyric. His lips part, but for a fraction of a second, emotion catches in his throat. He swallows, steadying himself. The entire theater seems to breathe with him. And then, just before his voice enters the air, you can feel it shift. The understanding that this isn't just another contestant chasing fame. This is someone who has already faced rejection in its rawest form, and kept going anyway. The piano continues softly, building a foundation for what is about to happen. In the audience, strangers sit shoulder to shoulder, unaware that in the next few seconds, they are about to share a collective emotional experience. The stage lights glow warmer, almost golden, wrapping Michael in a quiet aura of possibility. From roadside corners to the grand stage of America's Got Talent, the journey has led to this exact heartbeat in time. And as Michael finally opens his mouth to sing the first line of Still by the Roadside, the world seems to pause, ready to listen.